Putangina. Dalawang salita lang yon, pabulong, pero sapat na para basagin ang katahimikan ng umaga ni Sonia. Hindi yung tipo ng mura na may kasamang itingit, kundi yung napapabuga ka na lang ng hangin, kasi hindi mo alam kung matatawa ka o mainis. Or, in her case, pareho. For a split second, inisip niyang baka nananaginip pa siya, yung mga weird na panaginip na walang logic pero feel na feel mo. Kaso, yung amoy ng bagong tabas na damo at yung sinag ng araw na tumatama sa mukha niya, masyadong totoo. At yung lalaking nakatalikod, prenteng-prenteng nagpuputol ng mga ligaw na sanga sa paborito niyang bougainvillea, definitely totoo. Hoy! This time, mas malakas na. May kasama ng otoridad. Yung klase ng boses na sanay mag-utos, sanay masunod. Napahinto yung lalaki. Dahan-dahan siyang lumingon at doon na talaga nagsimulang umakyat yung dugo ni Sonia sa ulo. Hindi dahil sa pangit yung lalaki. In fact, malayo doon. Kahit nakasuot lang ito ng lumang t-shirt na medyo basa na sa pawis at kupas na maong pants, may tindig. Yung tipong kahit anong ipasuot mo, mukhang disente pa rin. Pero hindi iyon ang point. Ang point, sino siya para galawin ang hardin niya? Ang sagradong hardin niya? Good morning po, ma'am, bati nito, kalmado. Kalmadong-kalmado, na parang siya pa yung naistorbo sa sarili niyang bakuran. Yung ngiti, maliit lang, pero parang may something. Hindi yung ngiting aso, kundi yung ngiting alam mo iyon. Nakakainsulto yung calmness niya. Napa-cross arms si Sonia. Good morning. Anong good sa morning kung may magnanakaw ng halaman sa hardin ko? Tinaasan niya ito ng kilay, waiting for an explanation. Or better yet, an apology and a hasty retreat. The man chuckled. Hindi tawang ng aasar, pero yung parang natatawa lang talaga. Hindi po ako magnanakaw, ma'am. Ako po si Adrian. Ako po yung pansamantalang gardener. Gardener. Sonia blink. Gardener. Sinong kumuha sa'yo? Si Mang Bert, yung matandang katiwala nila, ang laging nag-aasikaso ng hardin. For years. At kilala ni Mang Bert ang bawat halaman doon, pati na yung mga ayaw niyang pinapagalaw. Si Mang Bert po. May emergency daw po kasi sa probinsya nila, kailangan niyang umuwi for few weeks. Ako po yung pinakiusapan niyang pumalit muna. Paliwanag ni Adrian, yung mga mata niya, diretso sa mga mata ni Sonia. At dito na-distract si Sonia. Yung mga mata. Sabi nila, the eyes are the windows to the soul. Cheesy, pero minsan totoo. Ang mga mata ni Adrian, hindi mga mata ng tipikal na hardinero na nakikita niya sa mga plant nursery. May lalim. May parang pagod pero matalino. Mature. Yung tipong parang ang dami ng nakita, ang dami ng naranasan. Hindi bagay sa mukha niyang mukhang nasa late 30s lang, early 40s at most. He didn't inform me, sabi ni Sonia, trying to regain her composure. Na-off guard siya sa titig nito. He knows I don't like strangers in EV property, lalo na sa hardin ko. Bawat salita may diin. Para ipamukha dito na this was her territory. Adrian nodded slowly. Pasensya na po, ma'am. Siguro po sa pagmamadali niya, hindi na niya kayo nasabihan. Pero nag-iwan po siya ng instructions. Sinusunod ko lang po. He gestured vaguely sa paligid. Sonia's eyes followed his gesture and her annoyance flared up again. Nakita niya yung mga pinagputulan. Instructions? Kasama ba sa instructions yung putulin mo yung bougainvillea ko na parang wala ng bukas? That was perfectly fine. Medyo tumaas na naman yung boses niya. She felt tipang off. Yun ba yun? Selos? Sa halaman? Absurd. Actually, ma'am, Adrian started, yung boses niya patient pa rin, medyo overcrowded na po, yung mga sanga niya sa parteng to, it hinders new growth. Saka para mas maging maganda po yung tubo ng mga bulaklak niya, kailangan po talaga ng pruning. Strategic pruning. Strategic pruning. Sino ba to? Landscape artist. Natahimik si Sonia. Hindi dahil sa kumbinsido siya, kundi dahil sa paraan ng pagsasalita nito. May sense. Hindi yung parang nanghula lang. And you know this because, tanong niya, a bit sarcastic. Adrian smiled again, that small, knowing smile. Nag-aral po ng konti. And I've handled quite a few gardens before. Konti. Ulit ni Sonia, hindi pa rin makapaniwala. She prided herself on her knowledge of plants. Siya mismo ang nag-design ng hardin na to, every nook and cranny. It was her escape, her sanctuary. Kaya apektado siya pag may ibang nakikialam. Sige po, ma'am, kung ayaw niyo po yung ginagawa ko, I can stop. Hintayin na lang po natin si Mang Bert. Sabi ni Adrian at akmang ibababa na yung pruning shears. For some reason, ayaw ni Sonia na tumigil ito. Maybe it was the way he handled the tools, with certain practiced grace. Or maybe, just maybe, curious siya kung ano ang kalalabasan ng key strategic pruning ina to, plus, the garden did need some work. Si Mang Bert, bless his loyal soul, was getting on in years. May mga namimiss na siyang gawin. No, it's fine. Ang bilis ng sagot niya. Masyadong mabilis. Just be careful with envy orchids. And yung mga herbs ko malapit sa kusina, wag mong gagalawin yun unless isa-isodi. She sounded like she was giving orders, pero sa loob-loob niya, may konting kaba. Kaba na ewan. Adrian's eyes seemed to light up a bit. Noted po, ma'am. Makakaasa po kayo. Nagkatinginan sila. Isang mahabang sandali. Walang nagsasalita. Rinig lang yung huni ng mga ibon at yung lagaslas ng hangin sa mga dahon. Sonia felt it again, that word pull, that feeling of being seen. Really seen. Hindi bilang Ma'am Sonia, yung may-ari ng resort, yung boss, kundi bilang tao lang. And it was unsettling. It was new. His eyes, she noticed, were deep brown. Almost black. But when the sunlight hit them just right, parang may gold flecks. Nakaka-hypnotize. She had to consciously look away. Okay. If you need anything, tawagin mo lang si Lena sa kusina. Sabi niya, medyo nagmamadali na. Kailangan niyang umalis doon. Kailangan niyang iproseso tong encounter na to. Sige po, ma'am. Salamat po. Tumalikod na si Sonia, naglakad pabalik sa bahay. Pero kahit nakatalikod na, parang nararamdaman pa rin niya yung tingin ni Adrian sa likod niya. She felt a strange heat creep up her neck. Ano ba to, Sonia? Hardiner lang yan. Pero may parte sa kanya na nagsasabing hindi lang siya, hardiner lang. Pagpasok niya sa dining area, nandoon na yung almusal niya, prepared gift Lena, her long-time kasambahay. Kape, sinangag, itlog, tosino. Her usual. Pero parang walang lasa. Her mind was still in the garden. With him. Ma'am, okay lang po kayo, tanong ni Lena, napansin siguro yung pagkatulala niya. Namumutla po kayo ng konti. Sonia forced a smile. Okay lang, Lena. Medyo na-stress lang ako sa hardin. Ah, si Mang Bert po ba? Tumawag nga po kanina, nag-emergency daw po. Pero may pinapunta daw po siyang kapalit. Maayos naman po ba, ma'am? He's different. Yun lang ang nasabi ni Sonia. Different. Hindi niya masabi kung good different o bad different. O baka naman, just different. The rest of the morning, Sonia tried to focus on her work. Emails, resort bookings, inventory. Pero every now and then, sumusulyap siya sa bintana. Nakikita niya si Adrian, meticulously working. He moved with a quiet efficiency, parang alam na alam niya ang ginagawa niya. Hindi siya yung tipong hardinero na parang napipilitan lang. He seemed to enjoy it, parang may connection siya sa mga halaman. Once, she saw him pause, gently touching a wilting flower on a rose bush. Parang may binubulong. Sonia found herself smiling. Ano ka ba, Sonia? Pati iyon napapansin mo. Lunch came and went. Hindi siya lumabas. Nagpahatid na lang siya ng pagkain sa opisina niya. Ayaw niyang makita ulit si Adrian. O baka naman gusto niya pero ayaw niyang aminin. Conflicted. Yan ang term. Nang maghapon na, yung sikat ng araw, yung golden hour, she found herself drawn to the large glass window in her living room. Yung bintana na overlooking the entire garden. Doon, kitang-kita niya si Adrian na nagliligpit na ng gamit. Tapos na yata ang trabaho niya for the day. He stretched, and for a moment, his shirt rolled up, revealing a glimpse of eye-toned abdomen. Sonia quickly looked away, feeling her cheeks flush. Inappropriate, Sonia. Very inappropriate. She was 52, for crying out loud. He was probably what? 15, 20 years younger. Pero kahit anong saway niya sa sarili, hindi niya mapigilang mapatingin ulit. He was packing his tools neatly. May rin yata, naisip niya. Then, before leaving, he stood there for a moment, just looking at the garden. Parang ina-appreciate yung trabaho niya. O yung garden mismo. Sonia watched him until he disappeared beyond the gates. Gabi na. Tahimik na ulit ang bahay. Si Sonia, nakaupo sa paborito niyang armchair malapit sa bintana, hawak ang isang baso ng wine. The garden was bathed in the soft glow of the landscape lights she had installed. It looked different. Hindi na yung perfectly manicured but slightly stagnant garden niya. May something new. Parang may buhay. Yung bougainvillea na kanina ikinainisan niya, ngayon, in the dim light, parang mas may yung shape. Mas dramatic. Mas interesting. She took a sip of her wine. Adrian. His name echoed in her mind. His calm voice. His knowing smile. And those eyes. Damn those eyes. Sino ka ba talaga, Adrian? At bakit parang sa isang araw lang, nagulo mo na ang perpektong nakaayos kong mundo? She sighed, a long, drawn-out sigh. It wasn't a sigh of annoyance anymore. It was something else. Something that felt dangerously close to anticipation. Ano kayang gagawin niya bukas sa hardin? At bakit parang inaabangan niya? This was new. This was unsettling. This was kilig. Sa edad niyang to, Sonia almost lawed at the absurdity of it almost. Instead, she just took another long sip of wine, her eyes fixed on the garden, now carrying a secret, new presence. Isang estranghero ang pumasok sa hardin niya. Pero parang may iba pa siyang pinasok. At hindi sigurado si Sonia kung gusto niya yun o kung yun mismo ang matagal na niyang hinihintay. Kinabukasan, parang may ibang evekidat ang paggising ni Sonia. Usually, it was the blare of her alarm, followed by a mental checklist of 100 things to do, pero ngayon, yung unang pumasok sa isip niya ay yung hardin. At, aminin man niya o hindi, yung bagong hardinero. Damn those eyes. Nagkape siya sa veranda, yung mata niya, pasilip-silip sa direksyon ng garden. Wala pa si Adrian. Maaga pa naman siguro, she reasoned with herself. Baka mamayang 8 pa yun dumarating. She took a sip of her coffee. It tasted better today. Or maybe it was just her mood. Nang bandang 8:30, habang nagre-review siya ng mga papeles sa mini-office niya na may bintanang tanaw din ang isang bahagi ng hardin, natanaw niya ito. Papasok pa lang ng gate, bit-bit yung maliit niyang bag na parang laging mailamang misteryo. There was certain deliberateness in his stride, a quiet confidence that was, frankly, quite attractive. Stop it, Sonia, she chided herself. He's just here to fix the plants. Pero yung key fixing the plants turned into something more. Around mid-afternoon, when the sun wasn't as harsh, Sonia found herself wandering into the garden. Kunwari, ay check niya lang yung mga bagong tanim na herbs ni Elena. Pero alam niya, deep down, yung totoong dahilan. Nakita niya si Adrian malapit sa may fish pond, meticulously cleaning the filter. He was humming a soft tune, something unfamiliar. Mukhang seryoso ka dyan, she said, trying to sound casual. Nakashort siya at isang maluwag na linen shirt. Yung just threw this on look na pinag-isipan niya pa rin ng konti. Napalingon si Adrian and that small smile appeared again. Ma'am Sonia. Magandang hapon po. He wiped his hands on a rag. Medyo barado na po kasi tong filter. Kawawa naman yung mga isda. Nga. Si Mang Bert minsan nakakalimutan na yan. She walked closer, peering into the pond. You seem to know a lot more than just pruning. Adrian chuckled. Mahilig lang po talaga ako sa mga ganitong bagay, ma'am. Sa lahat ng may kinalaman sa pag-aalaga. Plants, animals, even old houses. Old houses. That piqued her interest. Bakit old houses? He paused, looking at the water reflected air. May kwento po kasi sila, di ba? Parang mga tao rin. Every crack, every faded paint, may pinagdaanan. I find that fascinating. Sonia found herself nodding. I agree. This house, she gestured around them, is almost 100 years old. Pamana pa to ng lolo ko. Talaga po? Adrian's eyes widened slightly, genuinely interested. Ang ganda po ng structure niya. Very well preserved. Classic Filipino-Spanish design. Sonia was surprised. You know about architecture. He looked a bit sheepish. Yun po sana ang gusto kong kunin dati. Architect. Pero alam niyo na po, life happens. May konting lungkot sa boses niya, saglit lang, pero narinig ni Sonia. What happened? She asked, softer this time. Maybe too personal, pero hindi niya napigilan. Adrian shrugged, picking up a fallen leaf from the pond's edge. Nagkasakit po si tatay. Panganay ako. Kailangan pong tumigil para magtrabaho. Hindi na po natuloy yung pangarap. He said it simply, without self-pity, just a statement of fact. And in that moment, Sonia saw him. Not just the temporary gardener, not just the man with the intriguing eyes. She saw a man who had sacrificed, a man who understood responsibility. A man who, despite unfulfilled dreams, found a way to still connect with things he was passionate about, creating, nurturing, fixing. Sayang naman, sabi ni Sonia, and she genuinely meant it, you seem to have a good eye for design. Even with the garden, yung mga ginawa mo kahapon, I have to admit, it looks better. A flicker of something, pride. Gratitude. Crossed Adrian's face. Salamat po, ma'am. Yun din po ang gusto ko, yung mapaganda yung paligid. Nagpatuloy sila sa pag-uusap. Or rather, si Adrian ang mas maraming naikwento. About his childhood sa probinsya, yung mga simpleng halamanan ng nanay niya na una niyang minahal. Sonia found herself just listening, genuinely listening. When was the last time she had a conversation like this? Yung hindi tungkol sa business, hindi tungkol sa problema, hindi tungkol sa mga demands ng buhay niya. Maya-maya, kinuha ni Adrian yung hose. Magdidilig na po ako, ma'am. Okay, sabi ni Sonia, pero hindi siya umalis. She watched him. There was a grace in his movements, even in a mundane task like watering plants. He wasn't just spraying water, he was checking each plant, adjusting the nozzle, making sure each one got what it needed. Gusto niyo pong subukan, ma'am, alok ni Adrian, a playful glint in his eyes. Sonia blinked. Ako? Nako, baka malunod ko lang yang mga yan. Hindi po yan. Tuturuan ko po kayo. He held out the hose. Hesitantly, Sonia took it. It felt heavier than she expected. Adrian stood beside her, his arm brushing hers lightly as he guided her hand to adjust the spray. A jolt, small but definite, shot up Sonia's arm. Static electricity lang yan, she told herself, but her heart knew better. Ganyan po, ma'am. Gentle lang. Parang hinahaplos niyo lang sila. She tried to follow his instruction, focusing on a row of santan bushes. The water arched and fell, glistening on the leaves. For a moment, she forgot she was Ma'am Sonia, the resort owner. She was just Sonia, watering plants. See? Kayang-kaya niyo po, Adrian said, his voice close to her ear. She could smell the faint, clean scent of his soap mixed with the earthy smell of the garden. It was pleasant. Too pleasant. Then, it happened. She was trying to reach a hanging fern, and she slightly misjudged the angle of the hose. A spray of water shot sideways, hitting a particularly grumpy-looking gnome statue Mang Bert had insisted on placing near the roses. The water ricocheted off its pointy hat and straight onto Adrian's t-shirt, drenching a good portion of his chest. "Oh, my God. I'm so sorry," Sonia exclaimed, mortified, dropping the hose. Adrian just stood there for a second, looking down at his wet shirt, then back at her. And then, he started to laugh. Not tearfully chuckle, but genuine, hearty laugh that crinkled the corners of his eyes. Sonia stared at him, stunned. And then, an unfamiliar bubbling sensation started in her chest. It rose up, and before she knew it, she was laughing too. Real, uninhibited laughter. Yung tawa na galing sa tiyan, yung tawa na matagal na niyang hindi narinig mula sa sarili niya. Years. It felt like years. Their laughter mingled in the afternoon air, chasing away the usual somber quiet of the garden. It felt good. It felt light. Nang humupa yung tawa nila, nagkatinginan sila, parehong may ngiti sa labi. Yung t-shirt ni Adrian, bakat na yung dibdib niya. Sonia tried very hard not to stare. "Okay lang po, ma'am," sabi ni Adrian, still smiling. "Refreshing nga po, eh. Medyo mainit din ni." "Pasensya ka na talaga," sabi ni Sonia, medyo nahihiya pa rin, pero yung ngiti, hindi maalis sa labi niya. "I'm usually not this clumsy." "Naniniwala po ako," Adrian said, his eyes twinkling. "Pero masaya po kayong kasama pag clumsy." Sonia felt her cheeks warm. Did he just flirt with me? Or was she just imagining things? Ang hirap basahin ng taong to. The rest of the afternoon passed in a blur of shared tasks and easy conversation. Sonia found herself actually enjoying the gardening. She learned how to properly deadhead roses, how to tell if a plant needed more sun or less. Adrian was a patient teacher, never condescending, always encouraging. There were moments. Small moments. Like when their fingers brushed as they both reached for the same trowel. Or when he pointed out a rare butterfly and she leaned in closer, her shoulder touching his. Each touch, however brief, sent a little kilig through her system, feeling she thought she had long outgrown. Pagod na sila pero yung pagod na masarap sa pakiramdam. Yung araw, malapit nang lumubog, painting the FF in hues of orange and purple. "Salamat po sa tulong, ma'am," sabi ni Adrian habang nililigpit na nila yung mga gamit. "Mas mabilis po natapos." "No, thank you," sabi ni Sonia, sincerely. "I actually enjoyed that." "Ako rin po, ma'am." Their eyes met again, and this time, the connection was undeniable. There was an understanding, a shared experience that went beyond employer and temporary gardener. That night, Sonia couldn't sleep. Yung mga eksena sa hardin, replay ng replay sa isip niya. Yung tawa ni Adrian. Yung init ng braso niya nang magdikit sila. Yung paraan ng pagtitig niya. She felt like teenager again, dissecting every word, every glance. Ano to? Ano tong nararamdaman ko? It was exciting, yes, but also terrifying. She was a grown woman. A widow. Someone who had built walls around her heart so high, she thought no one could ever scale them. And then there was the age gap. She hadn't asked, but she guessed he was in his late 30s, early 40s. She was 52. Mas matanda, mas bawal. Yung title ng isang lumang kanta, biglang nag-echo sa isip niya. Society would have a field day. Her family, her friends, her late husband's memory. She tossed and turned, yung puso niya, parang may sariling fiesta. Pagkalito. That was the word. Isang malaking, komplikadong pagkalito. Sometime before dawn, she drifted off into a restless sleep. And she dreamt. Nasa isang malagong gubat daw siya, yung mga puno, nagtataasan, halos hindi na makita yung langit. She was walking, and then she saw a hand reaching out to her from behind a giant fern. It was Adrian's hand. Strong, capable, with dirt still under the fingernails. She wanted to take it, so badly. Pero parang may pumipigil sa kanya. Natatakot siya. In her dream, she just stood there, her hand outstretched but not quite touching his, yung distansya sa pagitan nila, parang isang milya, parang isang buong buhay. The next morning, habang nag-aalmusal siya, tumawag si Mang Bert. Ma'am Sonia, kamusta na po dyan? Bati nito sa kabilang linya, yung boses niya, medyo garalgal pa. Mang Bert, okay ka lang ba? Kamusta yung emergency mo? Okay na po, ma'am. Medyo na ospital lang po si Mrs., pero pauwi na rin po kami next week siguro. Si Adrian po, yung pinapunta ko, maayos naman po ba yung trabaho niya? Ah, si Adrian. Sonia paused. Yes, he's doing a good job, Mang Bert. Very efficient. Mabait na bata yun, ma'am. Masipag. Medyo tahimik lang pero maraming alam yan sa halaman. Parang kayo rin po, ma'am, mahilig. Sonia smiled faintly. Nga, eh. Sige po, ma'am, ibababa ko na po. Tumawag lang po ako para mga musta. At saka napansin ko lang po sa mga video call namin ni Leonard. Yes, Mang Bert. Ma'am, parang ang bata naman ng ngiti niyo lately. Iba po yung glow niyo. Natigilan si Sonia. Yung kutsara, muntik nang mahulog sa kamay niya. Even Mang Bert, miles away, noticed. Ganun ba ka-obvious? Siguro dahil lang yan sa magandang sikat ng araw dito, Mang Bert, palusot niya, trying to sound nonchalant. Siguro nga po, ma'am. Basta, ingat po kayo lagi dyan. Pagbaba ng telepono, napahawak si Sonia sa pisngi niya. Ngiti. Glow. Totoo ba yun? Napatingin siya sa salamin sa hallway. Was there a difference? Or was Mang Bert just being? Mang Bert? Pero yung sinabi nito, parang isang maliit na tinik. Isang paalala. Na may nakakapansin. Na yung mga sikretong kilig at pagkalito niya, baka hindi na pala ganoon kasikreto. And that thought, more than anything, scared her. The next few days were a strange dance of avoidance and anticipation for Sonia. Alam niyang delikado tong pinapasok niya, tong nararamdaman niya para kay Adrian. Yung sinabi ni Mang Bert, kahit pabiro, tumatak sa kanya. Parang ang bata naman ang ngiti niyo lately. It was a reminder that people noticed. And if people noticed, people would talk. Kaya sinubukan niyang dumistansya. She'd make sure abala siya sa opisina, pag alam niyang nasa hardin si Adrian. She'd take her meals in her room. Pero yung puso, di mapigilan. Every rustle of leaves outside her window, every distant sound of pruning shears, her heart would do a little flip. Yung mga simpleng be good morning, maampi, at ti good afternoon, maamti ni Adrian, pag nagkakasalubong sila, parang musika sa pandinig niya, kahit napilit niyang sinusuklian iyon ng formal at matipid na tango. Adrian, on his part, seemed to sense her withdrawal. He became quieter, more reserved, though his work in the garden remained impeccable. Minsan, nahuhuli niya itong nakatingin sa kanya, yung mga mata niya, parang may gustong sabihin pero hindi masabi. Or maybe, she was just projecting her own feelings. Ang hirap. Ang hirap-hirap. Isang hapon, Sonia was feeling particularly restless. Hindi niya mapigilan ang sarili. She found herself walking towards the lanai, near the section where Adrian was replanting some wilting orchids. Kunwari, may kukunin lang siya. Adrian, she called out, her voice a little shaky. He looked up, surprise evident on his face. Halatang hindi niya inaasahan na lalapitan siya ni Sonia. Ma'am Sonia. May kailangan po kayo? Yung mga orchids na yan they look much better now, she said, trying to make small talk, trying to bridge the awkwardness that had settled between them. Akala ko, hindi na yan masasave. A small, almost sad smile touched Adrian's lips. Kailangan lang po ng konting alaga, ma'am. At tamang environment. He paused, then added, his voice softer, lahat naman po yata, pag binigyan ng tamang alaga, gumaganda. Their eyes met, and for a moment, it felt like he wasn't just talking about the orchids. Parang may mas malalim na kahulugan yung sinabi niya. Sonia's breath hitched. She wanted to say something, anything, to acknowledge that unspoken connection. Bigla, yung katahimikan ay binasag ng malakas na tunog ng kotse na huminto sa driveway. Then, the car door slammed. Sonia frowned. Sino kaya iyon? I'm not expecting anyone. And then, voice, sharp and imperious, cut through the air. Tita Sonia! Where are you? I'm here. Nanlaki ang mga mata ni Sonia. Vanessa. Her niece. Her very opinionated, very modern, very judgmental niece. Anak ng kapatid niyang nasa States. Vanessa would visit the island unannounced sometimes, treating it like her personal vacation spot, expecting to be waited on hand and foot. Sonia loved her, of course, she was family. Pero minsan, yung pagkaprangka at kawalan ng preno sa bibig ni Vanessa, nakaka-stress. Lalo na ngayon. Oh God, not now. Vanessa strode into the lanai like she owned the place, perfectly coiffed hair, designer sunglasses perched on her head, her phone already out, probably for an Instagram story. Tita! Finally! Kanina pa kita tinatawagan, you weren't answering. So, I just decided to surprise you. 3 days, 2 nights of pure bliss. And you, she said, turning her attention to Adrian, who was now standing awkwardly, holding a pot of orchids, you must be the new help Mang Bert was talking about. Ang bata mo naman. Usually, mga lolo na yung kinukuha ni tita. Sonia cringed internally. Vanessa's tone wasn't just condescending, it was dismissive. Vanessa, this is Adrian. He's helping out while Mang Bert is away, Sonia said, trying to keep her voice even, though her heart was pounding. Adrian, this is niece Vanessa. Adrian nodded politely. Magandang hapon po, ma'am. Vanessa just gave him a cursory glance, then turned back to Sonia, already launching into a monologue about her flight, her shopping, and some drama with her friends. Sonia tried to listen, but her eyes kept darting towards Adrian. Nakita niya yung saglit na pagkunot ng noo nito sa sinabi ni Vanessa, yung bahagyang pag-igting ng panga. He was trying to be invisible, but Sonia knew he heard everything. Anyway, tita, I'm starving. Vanessa declared. Let's have an early dinner. Something fancy. Maybe that seafood restaurant sa kabilang resort. Vanessa, kararating mo lang, di ba? Magpahinga ka muna, Sonia suggested, hoping to defuse the situation, to get Vanessa away from Adrian. No way, tita. I'm full of energy. Tara na. And you, Vanessa said, turning back to Adrian again, her voice laced with that casual authority people used with the help. Can you, put those flowers somewhere nice? And maybe, pakiakyat na rin yung maleta ko sa guest room. It's the pink one, super heavy. She didn't even wait for an answer, already tugging at Sonia's arm. Sonia felt a surge of anger. The way Vanessa was treating Adrian, it was disrespectful. But before she could say anything, Adrian spoke, his voice quiet but firm. Sige po, ma'am. Ako na po ang bahala. He gave Sonia a brief, unreadable look, then turned to pick up Vanessa's ridiculously large pink suitcase that was left near the entrance. Sonia wanted to scream. She wanted to tell Vanessa off, but she was also a coward. Part of her was terrified of what Vanessa might say, what she might suspect, if she defended Adrian too much. Dinner that night was an ordeal. Vanessa chattered on, oblivious, while Sonia picked at her food, her mind replaying that scene in the lanai. Every now and then, Lena would come in to refill their water or clear plates, and Sonia would see the pitying look in Lena's eyes. Lena knew. Lena always knew. The next day was worse. Vanessa, in her usual whirlwind fashion, decided she wanted to redecorate the guest room. Which meant ordering Sonia's staff around, including Adrian, who she seemed to treat as her personal errand boy. Adrian, can you move this vase here? No, wait, there. Never mind, it looks hideous. Just take it away. Adrian, this Wi-Fi is so slow. Can you, fix it? Adrian, Givi smoothie tastes weird. Can you ask Lena to make another one? Less sugar this time, more kale. Make sure it's organic kale. Sonia tried to intervene subtly, but Vanessa was a force of nature. And Adrian. Adrian just took it all with a quiet stoicism that broke Sonia's heart. He did everything asked of him, efficiently, without complaint. But Sonia could see the strain in his eyes, the tightness around his mouth. He was being professional, but she knew he was hurting. And she was hurting for him. The breaking point came during lunch on Vanessa's second day. They were eating at the main dining table, Sonia, Vanessa, and Adrian, who Sonia had insisted join them, much to Vanessa's thinly veiled disapproval. Tita, really? With the staff? Sonia had tried to make it a pleasant meal, asking Adrian about the progress in the garden, deliberately including him in the conversation. Adrian, to his credit, answered politely, though he mostly kept his eyes on his plate. Then, Vanessa, while scrolling through her phone, suddenly looked up. Oh, Tita, speaking of the garden, Mang Bert is coming back next week, right? So, I guess Adrian here will be leaving soon. She said his name with a slight emphasis, a hint of a smirk playing on her lips. Adrian flinched, almost imperceptibly. Sonia's fork clattered onto her plate. Yes, Vanessa, Mang Bert will be back, Sonia said, her voice tight. Good, Vanessa said breezily. Because, honestly, Tita, it's a bit weird, don't you think? Having someone so young and, well, you know the. She let her voice trail off, but her eyes, sharp and assessing, darted between Sonia and Adrian. The air crackled with unspoken tension. Sonia could feel her face burning. She knew what Vanessa was insinuating. Vanessa, that's enough, Sonia warned, her voice low and dangerous. But Vanessa, never one to back down, pressed on. Enough what, Tita? I'm just saying. It's a small island. People talk. You, irrespected woman, you widow and him the. She gestured vaguely at Adrian. I mean, he's what? 30-something. 40. He's practically young enough to be your not son, maybe a very young nephew. The implication hung heavy in the air. Pwede mong anak. Adrian, who had been silent all this time, slowly put down his utensils. His face was pale, his expression unreadable. He didn't look at Sonia. He didn't look at Vanessa. He just stared at the point somewhere beyond them. Sonia felt a cold dread creep into her heart. This was it, the confrontation she had been dreading. Vanessa, Sonia said, her voice trembling with barely suppressed fury. You have no right to say that. You don't know anything. Oh, I think you know enough, Tita, Vanessa retorted, her voice dripping with sarcasm. I see the way you look at him. And the way he looks at you. It's pathetic, frankly. You're risking your reputation, your late husband's memory, everything, for someone who's clearly just a worker. Someone who'll be gone in a week. Is he worth it, Tita? Is this fling worth it? Fling. The word felt like a slap in the face. Sonia wanted to deny it, to scream that it wasn't like that what she felt for Adrian was more. But the words wouldn't come out. Shame, hot and suffocating, washed over her. Shame for her feelings, shame for being caught, shame for not being strong enough to defend what was in her heart. Adrian finally looked up. His eyes met Sonia's, and what she saw there made her want to die. There was pain, yes, but also profound disappointment. A resignation. He stood up slowly. Pasensya na po, Ma'am Sonia, Ma'am Vanessa, he said, his voice devoid of emotion. Excuse me. He turned and walked out of the dining room, his back straight, his steps measured. But Sonia knew. She knew he was breaking inside. Just like she was. The moment Adrian was gone, Sonia turned on Vanessa, her eyes blazing. How dare you, Vanessa? How dare you speak to him like that? How dare you speak to Evie like that? I'm just being honest, Tita. Vanessa shot back, unfazed. Someone had to say it. You're making a fool of yourself. Get out, Sonia whispered, her voice hoarse. What? I said, yik. Sonia roared, standing up so abruptly her chair scraped loudly against the floor. Pack your bags and get out of Izai house. Now! Vanessa stared at her, momentarily stunned into silence by Sonia's fury. Then, her face hardened. Fine. Don't want to stay in this crazy house anyway. But don't say didn't warn you, tita. You'll regret this. She stormed off, presumably to pack her pink suitcase. Sonia sank back into her chair, her body trembling. The anger drained out of her as quickly as it came, leaving behind a hollow, aching emptiness. Hiya! Sakit! Shame and pain. They were a toxic cocktail, burning through her. She didn't know how long she sat there. Lena came in at some point, her face etched with concern. Ma'am Sonia, si Sir Adrian po. What about him, Lena? Sonia asked, her voice barely a whisper. Nag-iimpact na po siya, ma'am. Sonia's head snapped up. What? No. He can't leave. She jumped up and ran out of the dining room, towards the small staff quarters at the back of the property. She found him zipping up his small, worn bag. His movements were quick, efficient. Like he couldn't wait to get away. Adrian! Don't, she pleaded, her voice breaking. Please, don't go. What Vanessa said, it's not true. It's not like that. Even as she said it, she knew it was a lie. It was like that. Or at least, it was heading there. Adrian didn't look at her. He just continued packing. Kailangan ko na pong umalis, Ma'am Sonia. His voice was flat. Tapos na po yung trabaho ko dito. No, it's not. Mang Bert isn't back yet. The garden, it still needs you. Her reason sounded flimsy, even to her own ears. He finally turned to face her. His eyes were shadowed, his face etched with weariness that went beyond physical fatigue. Ma'am, mas makakabuti po kung aalis na ako. Para sa inyo. Para sa akin. But, She wanted to say, I need you. I think I'm falling for you. But the words got stuck in her throat, choked by shame and fear. Pasensya na po sa abala, he said, picking up his bag. He walked towards the door, pausing for a moment. Salamat po sa lahat, Ma'am Sonia. Then, he was gone. Sonia stood there, frozen, listening to his footsteps fade away. She didn't run after him. She didn't call out his name. She just stood there, as the reality of what just happened crashed down on her. He was gone. Adrian was gone. Later that evening, after Vanessa had also left in a huff, though not without parting shot about Sonia needing therapy, Sonia found herself in the garden. The sun had set, and the landscape lights cast long, mournful shadows. The garden, which just days ago had felt so alive, so full of promise, now seemed empty. Desolate. The flowers, mga bulaklak, that Adrian had so carefully tended, seemed to droop. The air, once filled with his quiet humming or the snip-snip of his shears, was heavy with an unbearable silence. She walked to the spot where they had lawed together, where she had accidentally sprayed him with water. The memory, once so sweet, now brought a fresh wave of pain. Masakit kapag may nakakarinig. Masakit kapag yung sikreto mong kaligayahan, biglang nabulgar at naging kasiraan. Masakit kapag yung taong nagsimula ng magpatibok ulit ng puso mo, bigla na lang nawala dahil sa takot, dahil sa hiya. Sonia sank onto a stone bench, the cold seeping into her bones. She wrapped her arms around herself, but it did little to ward off the chill. It wasn't just the evening air, it was the chill in her heart. Adrian was gone. And with him, key part of her, key part she had just rediscovered, seemed to have gone too. The garden was silent. Her world was silent. And all that was left was the echoing pain of what might have been, and the crushing weight of what was. The days that followed Adrian's departure were a blur of gray for Sonia. Parang yung kulay ng hardin pag walang araw, pag makulimlim. She moved through her routine like ghost, checking on the resort, answering emails, overseeing the staff, but her heart wasn't in it. Everything felt muted. Yung hardin, hindi na niya magawang tapakan. Every time she looked at it from her window, all she saw was Adrian's absence. Yung mga halaman, parang nalulungkot din o baka imagination niya lang yun, a reflection of her own misery. Lena tried her best to maintain it, but it wasn't the same. Walang magic touch ni Adrian. Si Vanessa, hindi na nagparamdam. Good. Sonia didn't have the energy to deal with her. Yung mga salita ni Vanessa, yung you're risking everything for someone na pwede mong anak, at si pathetic, umuulit-ulit sa isip niya, parang sirang plaka. Kasabay ng alaala ng mukha ni Adrian bago ito umalis, yung sakit, yung disappointment. Pagsisisi. Regret was a bitter pill, and Sonia was choking on it. Isang umaga, mga isang linggo matapos umalis si Adrian, may dumating na package para kay Sonia. Maliit lang na kahon, walang return address, pero yung handwriting sa pangalan niya, pamilyar. Dahan-dahan niyang binuksan. Inside, nestled carefully in protective wrapping, was a bonsai. Isang maliit na puno, yung mga sanga niya, meticulously shaped, parang matandang puno na lumiit. It was beautiful. Exquisite. And somehow, it reminded her so much of Adrian, quiet, resilient, with hidden strength and artistry. Tucked beside the bonsai was a small, folded note. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Ma'am Sonia, yung sulat, simple lang, pero bawat letra, parang may bigat. Pasensya na po kung nagdulot ako ng gulo. Hindi ko po sinasadya. Sana po napatawad niyo na ako at si Ma'am Vanessa. Alam ko pong mahirap ang sitwasyon. Itong maliit na bonsai para po sa inyo. Naalala ko po kasi yung sinabi niyo dati na gusto niyo, yung mga bagay na may kwento at pinagdaanan. Katulad po nito, matagal na panahon at pasensya ang kailangan para mabuo at mapaganda. Parang buhay. Parang pag-ibig, siguro. Salamat po sa ilang araw na nakasama ko kayo sa hardin. Marami po akong natutunan. Hindi lang po tungkol sa halaman. Hanggang sa muli kung papalarin. Ingat po kayo palagi. Nagpapasalamat. Adrian ni. Walang di love, walang sincerely yours. Simpleng nagpapasalamat. Pero yung mga salita, yung parang pag-ibig, siguro, tumago sa puso ni Sonia. He understood. Kahit hindi nila nasabi, kahit hindi nila inamin, he understood. Niyakap ni Sonia yung bonsai, yung mga luha niya, tuluyan ng bumagsak. This little tree, it was more than just a plant. It was a goodbye. A regret. A reminder of what she had lost, what she had allowed to slip away because of fear and shame. Adrian ni. She whispered his name, her voice thick with unshed tears and growing resolve. That same day, Sonia did something she hadn't done in years. She packed an overnight bag. Nagpaalam siya kay Lena na aalis siya saglit, may aasikasuhin lang sa mainland. Hindi siya nagbigay ng maraming detalye. Hindi rin naman nagtanong si Lena, pero yung ngiti nito, parang may alam. Sonia didn't know exactly where Adrian lived. Ang alam lang niya, somewhere sa probinsya, base sa mga kwento nito. But Mang Bert knew. Nagbaka sakali siyang tawagan si Mang Bert, na nakabalik na pala ng Isla de Lirio a few days ago but was giving Sonia her space. Mang Bert, Sonia started, her voice a bit hesitant, si Adrian alam mo ba kung saan siya sa probinsya? There was a pause on the other end. Then, Mang Bert said, Ma'am Sonia, bakit po? There was knowing tone in his voice. Sonia took deep breath. Kailangan ko siyang makausap, Mang Bert. Importante. Another pause. Nasa Batangas po siya, ma'am. Sa may bayan ng San Luis. May maliit po siyang nursery doon, minana pa sa lolo niya. Yun po ang pinagkakaabalahan niya pag wala siyang ibang project. Mang Bert then gave her more specific directions. Salamat, Mang Bert. Malaking tulong to. Ma'am Sonia di. Mang Bert said, his voice softer now. Kung ano man po yung gagawin nyo, sana po para sa ikasasaya nyo. Matagal na po kayong hindi masaya. Yung sinabi ni Mang Bert, parang nagbigay ng extra push kay Sonia. Tama siya. Matagal na siyang hindi masaya. And for a brief, shining moment, with Adrian, she had felt a flicker of a genuine happiness. Hindi niya hahayaang mawala yun ng ganun-ganun lang. The journey to San Luis was long. Jeepney rides, a bus trip, then another tricycle ride through dusty, unpaved roads. It was far tiresome from her comfortable life on the island. Pero habang papalapit siya, parang mas lalong tumitibay ang loob niya. This was it, no turning back. Finally, the tricycle driver pointed to a small, unassuming gate almost hidden in overgrown bougainvillea, ironically, the same plant that started her first confrontation with Adrian. Dito na po yung Lola Perla's garden, ma'am. Lola Perla? Hindi Adrian's nursery. Sonia felt a moment of confusion, but she paid the driver and got off. Pagpasok niya sa gate, a different world unfolded. It wasn't a manicured, resort-style garden like hers. It was wilder. More natural. Parang isang secret garden na tinubuan ng kung ano-anong halaman, pero may sariling ganda, may sariling harmony. May mga manok na nagkakahig sa gilid, may mga asong natutulog sa ilalim ng puno ng mangga. It felt real. Lived in. And then she saw her. Isang matandang babae, yung buhok niya, puting-puti na, nakatali sa isang simpleng bun. Nakaupo siya sa isang silyangyantok sa ilalim ng isang malaking acacia tree, nagkakape, habang may binabasang libro. She had a serene face, kind eyes that seemed to hold a lifetime of wisdom. Magandang hapon po, bati ni Sonia, medyo nahihiya. Hinahanap ko po sana si Adrian. The old woman looked up and a warm smile spread across her face. Adrian? Ah, ang apo ko. Maupo ka, iha. She gestured to another rattan chair beside her. Ako si Perla. Lola niya. Sonia sat down, feeling a strange sense of calm in the old woman's presence. Sonia po. Kaibigan po ni Adrian. Friend. Was that what they were? Lola Perla chuckled softly. Kaibigan. Nabanggit ka nga niya. Yung magandang ginang daw mula sa isla na may napakagandang hardin. Her eyes twinkled. Sonia blushed. Nabanggit niya po ako. Naman. Madalas nga siyang nakatulala dito pagka-uwi niya galing doon. Parang may malalim na iniisip. Lola Perla took a sip of her coffee. Alam mo, iha, yang apo kong yan, tahimik lang yan pero malalim. Maraming pangarap yan na hindi natupad. Pero yung puso niyan, busilak. Nakinig lang si Sonia. Parang gusto niyang malaman lahat tungkol kay Adrian, mula sa taong pinakamalapit sa kanya. Minsan, nalulungkot ako para sa kanya, Lola Perla continued, her gaze drifting towards the rows of seedlings in the nursery. Dahil sa mga responsibilidad, isinakripisyo niya yung sarili niyang kaligayahan. Matagal na siyang mag-isa. Masyadong bata para maging malungkot. Sonia felt pang in her chest. She understood that loneliness. She knew it intimately. Nasaan po siya ngayon, Lola Perla? Tanong ni Sonia, yung boses niya, halos pabulong na. Nasa likod bahay. May ginagawa sa mga bonsai niya. Yun ang kanyang munting paraiso. Lola Perla smiled knowingly. Puntahan mo na siya, iha. Palagay ko, matagal ka na niyang hinihintay. Matagal ka na niyang hinihintay. Yung mga salita ni Lola Perla, parang basbas. Parang permiso. Sonia stood up, her heart pounding. Salamat po, Lola Perla. Walang anuman, iha. Lola Perla's eyes were kind. Tandaan mo, kahit anong edad, may karapatang magmahal. At may karapatang sumaya. Huwag mong hayaang pigilan ka ng takot o ng sasabihin ng iba. Those words. Kahit anong edad, may karapatang magmahal. It was exactly what Sonia needed to hear. It was the validation she had been searching for, unknowingly. She walked towards the back of the house, following a small, winding path. And then, she saw it, Adrian's small paradise. It wasn't grand, but it was beautiful. Dozens of bonsai trees, in various stages of growth, lined weathered wooden shelves. Each one was a work of art, a testament to patience and dedication. And there, in the middle of it all, was Adrian. Nakatalikod siya, gently trimming the leaves of a teeny maple tree. He was wearing a simple, faded shirt and worn-out shorts. He looked at peace, but also profoundly alone. For a moment, Sonia just stood there, watching him. Yung dibdib niya, parang sasabog sa halo-halong emosyon. Pagsisisi, pero mas malakas na ngayon yung pag-asa. Hope. She took deep breath. Adrian? He froze. Dahan-dahan siyang lumingon, yung pruning shears, muntik nang mahulog sa kamay niya. When he saw her, his eyes widened in disbelief. Parang nakakita siya ng multo. Sonia. Hindi siya makapaniwala. Anong ginagawa mo dito? She walked towards him, her steps uncertain but determined. Tumigil siya ilang talampakan lang mula sa kanya. I got your bonsai, she said, her voice soft. It's beautiful. He just stared at her, speechless. Adrian, she continued, and this time, her voice was stronger, clear. I came here because I made a mistake. I let fear and what other people might say dictate my actions. I'll let you go. And I regret it every single day. Yung mga luha, nagsimula na namang mamuo sa mga mata niya. Pero this time, they weren't just tears of sadness. They were tears of honesty, of vulnerability. I was scared, Adrian, she confessed. Scared of the age difference, scared of being judged, scared of feeling something real again after so long. He still didn't say anything, but his eyes, those deep, expressive eyes, were full of 1,000 unspoken emotions. Sonia took another step closer. Pero yung sinabi ni Lola Perla, she said, kahit anong edad, may karapatang magmahal. And she's right. She looked directly into his eyes, her heart laid bare. Adrian, I think I'm falling in love with you. There. She said it the words she had been too afraid to even whisper to herself. Adrian's composure finally broke. A single tear traced a path down his dusty cheek. He took a hesitant step towards her, then another, until he was standing right in front of her. He slowly reached out, his calloused fingers gently brushing away tear from her cheek. His touch was electric. Sonia D. He breathed her name, his voice thick with emotion. Akala ko hindi na kita makikita ulit. I'm here, she whispered, her own tears flowing freely now, but this time, they were tears of relief, of hope rekindled. I'm here, Adrian. He didn't say I love you back. Not yet. But his eyes, the way he looked at her, the way his hand trembled as it cupped her face, it said everything. In that small, forgotten corner of Batangas, surrounded Givatini, resilient trees, Sonia finally found the courage to face her truth. She had found Adrian. And in doing so, she had also found herself again. The journey was far from over. Marami pa silang haharapin. But for now, in this moment, there was only hope. And the quiet promise of a love that, against all odds, was fighting to bloom. Sonia cried. Not just for the pain and regret, but for the overwhelming wave of pag-asa that washed over her. Yung hardin ni Adrian, yung munting paraiso niya, parang naging paraiso na rin ni Sonia. Yung lugar kung saan, sa wakas, inamin niya sa sarili niya ang totoo. Mahal niya si Adrian. At gagawin niya ang lahat para sa pag-ibig na yun. Sonia didn't stay long in San Luis. After the tearful, heartfelt confession in Adrian's bonsai garden, they talked. For hours. They talked about their fears, their hesitations, and the undeniable pull that had drawn them together. Adrian, true to his nature, was a man of few words, but his eyes, his touch, his quiet presence beside her spoke volumes. He hadn't explicitly said, I love you too, but Sonia felt it in the way he held her hand, in the way his gaze softened every time he looked at her. Lola Perla, with her knowing smiles and endless supply of Cape Barako, had simply watched them, her heart full. Before Sonia left, the old woman hugged her tight. Alagaan mo yang apo ko, iha. At alagaan mo rin yang puso mo. Pareho kayong karapat-dapat sumaya. Sonia returned to Isla del Lirio with a lighter heart, but also the sense of purpose. Hindi pa tapos ang laban. She knew there would be challenges. Yung multo ng isa sabihin ng iba, yung age gap, yung expectations ng pamilya niya, lahat yun nandoon pa rin. Pero ngayon, may kakampi na siya. At higit sa lahat, may tapang na siya. She didn't tell Adrian to come back with her. She didn't want to pressure him. She knew he had his life in San Luis, his nursery, his lola. Ang mahalaga, alam na nila ang nararamdaman nila para sa isa't isa. The how, the and, when of their future, yun ang kailangan nilang i-figure out together. Pagbalik niya sa isla, the first thing Sonia did was walk into her garden. It still looked a bit neglected, a bit sad. But now, instead of seeing Adrian's absence, she saw potential. She saw the space waiting to be filled with love and care again. Her love and care. She started small. Nagdidilig. Nagpupungos ng mga tuyong dahon. Inaalagaan niya yung bonsai na bigay ni Adrian, inilagay niya ito sa isang special na lugar sa veranda niya, kung saan nasisikatan ng umagang araw. Every touch, every careful tending, was an act of love, for the plants, for Adrian, and for herself. One afternoon, weeks later, Sonia was in the garden, humming softly to herself as she repotted an orchid. Nakasuot siya ng lumang damit, yung buhok niya, nakatali lang ng basta-basta. May dumi siya sa pisngi at pawis sa noo. But she was happy. Genuinely happy. Parang yung bigat sa dibdib niya, unti-unti nang nawawala, napapalitan ng isang tahimik na saya. She was reaching for a watering can when she felt presence behind her. Akala niya si Lena. Lena, pakikuha nga yung tea. She turned and her words died in her throat. It was Adrian. Nakatayo siya sa may gilid ng hardin, malapit sa mailiryo, yung mga puting bulaklak na paborito ni Sonia, na ngayon ay nagsisimula ng mamukadkad. He wasn't wearing his gardener's clothes. Nakasuot siya ng simpleng polo shirt at maong pants. He looked different. More confident. More himself. He was just standing there, watching her, a small, gentle smile on his face. Yung mga mata niya, yung mga matang minahal niya, puno ng init. Adrian, she whispered, her heart leaping into her throat. Hindi siya makapaniwala. Anong ginagawa mo dito? He walked towards her slowly, his eyes never leaving hers. Bumalik ako, Sonia. He said her name without the ma'am. It sounded so natural, so right. Pero paano? Bakit? Naguguluhan siya, pero yung saya nangingibabaw. He stopped in front of her. Bumalik ako dahil dito ako dapat. Dahil dito ka. He paused, then reached into his pocket and pulled out something small. He opened his palm. It was a ring. Hindi gawa sa ginto o diamante. It was a simple band, intricately woven from what looked like dried plant fibers, with a teeny, perfectly preserved lirio flower encased in clear resin at its center. It was unique. It was them. Sonia, he began, his voice a little hoarse, full of emotion. Alam kong marami pang haharapin. Alam kong hindi magiging madali. Sasabihin ng iba, masyado kang matanda para sa akin, o masyado akong bata para sa iyo. Sasabihin nila, hindi tayo bagay. Sasabihin nila, isa lang akong hamak na hardinero. He took deep breath. Pero alam mo kung ano ang totoo, Sonia? Ang totoo, mahal kita. Mahal na mahal kita. Noon pa. Mula pa noong unang araw na nagalit ka sa akin dahil sa bougainvillea mo. A small, self-deprecating smile touched his lips. Sonia's eyes filled with tears. This time, they were purely tears of joy. Hindi ko kailangan ng permiso mo para mahalin ka, Sonia, he continued, his voice gaining strength. Hindi ko kailangan ng permiso ng kahit sino. Ang kailangan ko lang, ikaw. Ikaw lang ang kailangan ko para maging buo ang buhay ko. He looked at the ring in his hand, then back at her. Hindi ito yung singsing na maipagmamalaki mo sa mga kaibigan mo. Gawa ko lang to, pero ito yung simbolo ng pagmamahal ko sa'yo. Simple, totoo at galing sa puso. At galing sa hardin na naglapit sa ating dalawa. He took her left hand, his touch gentle but firm. Sonia, will you let me be the man who loves you, for the rest of our lives? Hindi bilang hardinero mo, hindi bilang mas bata sa'yo. Kundi bilang si Adrian, ang lalaking nagmamahal sa'yo ng higit pa sa kaya kong sabihin. Sonia couldn't speak. She just nodded, tears streaming down her face, a radiant smile blooming on her lips. Pagmamahal. Healing. This was it, this was everything. Adrian's answering smile was blinding. He slipped the Lirio ring onto her finger. It fit perfectly. Mahal din kita, Adrian, she finally managed to say, her voice choked with emotion. Mahal na mahal. He cupped her face in his hands, his thumbs gently wiping away her tears. Wala nang maam Sonia, he teased softly, his eyes twinkling. She laughed, a watery, joyful sound. Wala na. Sonia na lang. Oh, mahal. He leaned in and she met him halfway. Under the soft afternoon sun, surrounded by the fragrant lirio flowers that were just beginning to open, they kissed. It wasn't a desperate, hurried kiss. It was slow, tender, full of all the unspoken words, all the longing, all the hope they had carried in their hearts. It was a kiss that spoke of second chances, of finding love in the most unexpected places, with the most unexpected person. It was a kiss that healed old wounds and promised new beginnings. As they kissed, Sonia felt a profound sense of peace settle over her. Yung mga takot, yung mga agam-agam, parang natunaw lahat. All that mattered was this man, this love, this moment. The garden around them seemed to sigh in contentment. Yung mga ibon parang kumakanta ng mas matamis. Yung hangin parang may dalang bulong ng pag-asa. When they finally broke the kiss, they just held each other, their foreheads touching, their breaths mingling. So, Sonia whispered, a playful smile on her lips, ano nang plano natin sa hardin na to, mahal? Adrian chuckled, his arms tightening around her. Plano natin? Aalagaan natin. Palalagin natin. Katulad ng pag-ibig natin. Sonia looked around her garden, their garden. It was no longer just a collection of plants. It was a symbol of the journey. Its place of conflict, of connection, of pain, and now, of profound, healing love. She knew it wouldn't always be easy. May mga darating pa ring pagsubok. But looking into Adrian's eyes, feeling the warmth of his love surrounding her, she knew they could face anything together. Kahit anong edad, may karapatang magmahal. At sa wakas, natagpuan na ni Sonia ang kanya. Sa isang hardin, sa piling ng isang hardinero na nagturo sa kanya kung paano magmahal muli. The lirio flowers, in full bloom, seemed to nod in agreement. This was not just an ending. This was a beautiful, new beginning. Mahal kong mga mambabasa. Una sa lahat, mula sa kaibuturan ng aking puso, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay at pagtangkilik sa kwento ni Sonia at Adrian, ang iisang halik sa lirio. Bawat tapik ng keyboard, bawat pagpili ng salita, ay ginawa ko ng may pag-asa na maantig nito ang inyong mga puso, katulad ng kung paano naantig ng kanilang pag-ibigan ang aking. Ang pagsulat nito ay naging isang paglalakbay na puno ng iba't ibang emosyon para sa akin. May mga pagkakataong napapangiti ako sa kanilang mga kikilig di moments, nalulungkot sa kanilang mga pagsubok, at kinikilig sa kanilang dahan-dahang nabubuong pag-ibig. Naging parang tunay na mga kaibigan ko sina Sonia at Adrian habang isinusulat ko ang kanilang mga karanasan, at ang makita silang nagtagumpay sa gitna ng mga agam-agam at panghusga ay isang malaking kasiyahan. Nais kong iparating sa pamamagitan ng kanilang kwento na ang pag-ibig ay walang pinipiling edad, estado sa buhay o nakaraan. Na lagit-laging may pangalawang pagkakataon para sumaya at magmahal muli, basta't handa tayong buksan ang ating mga puso. Na ang tunay na tapang ay nasa pagharap sa takot, takot sa sasabihin ng iba, takot na masaktan, para lamang yakapin ang tawag ng puso. At higit sa lahat, ang kahalagahan ng pagpapatawad sa sarili at pagbibigay daan sa healing, hindi lamang para sa iba, kundi para sa ating sarili. Ang hardin ni Sonia ay naging simbolo ng kanyang panloob na mundo, nangalanta noong una, ngunit dahan-dahang namukadkad muli nang dumating ang tamang hardinero ng kanyang puso. Sana'y nagsilbi itong paalala na lahat tayo ay may karapatang magmahal at mahalin, anuman ang ating nakaraan o kasalukuyang estado sa buhay. Huwag nating hayaang diktahan ng lipunan o ng ating mga sariling pangamba ang landas patungo sa ating kaligayahan. Kung ang kwentong ito ay nakaantig sa inyong puso, huwag po kayong mag-atubiling ibahagi ito sa inyong mga kaibigan at kakilala. Nais ko ring marinig ang inyong mga saloobin. Ano ang paborito ninyong bahagi? Anong aral ang tumatak sa inyo? Anong naramdaman ninyo para kina Sonia at Adrian? Mag-iwan lang po kayo ng komento sa ibaba. Bawat mensahe mula sa inyo ay mahalaga at nagsisilbing inspirasyon. Muli, isang taos pusong pasasalamat. Hanggang sa ating muling pagkikita sa mga susunod pang kwento na, sana, ay patuloy na magbibigay ng init, pag-asa, at kaunting kilig sa ating lahat. Nagmamahal. Ang inyong manunulat.